And my mom is your typical Asian tiger mom who wants the best for her kids. So one day, she and my dad migrated to Manila, the capital, and sent me to an all-boys Catholic private school, which is what you usually do in this country if you want to send your children the best education. Unfortunately, my parents couldn't afford for that. My classmates would end up to become the sons of politicians and ambassadors in the Philippines. And the only way for me to enter that school is to be under scholarship. I clearly remember my mom told me, you have to be the first honors in class because if you're only second honors, you only get 75% scholarship. If you get third honors, you only get 50% scholarship. So if you don't get first honors or valedictorian, you're going to get kicked out from this school. So it was really years and years. I was a scholar from preparatory down to university, of being financially and academically pressured throughout my life. And I remember my junior, senior prom. You guys have that as well, right? Before you graduate for university, you do your last dance together with your classmates. And I clearly remember that was 1997. It was in Manila Hotel, the grandest hotel in the city that time. And by that time, there wasn't yet any Uber or Grab car. And my dad, being my dad, brought me to the lobby of that hotel using a motorcycle. I was so ashamed. And I told my dad, Dad, if you fetch me tonight after the dance, please fetch me at the back door entrance of the hotel. This was the most embarrassing moments of my life. And at 2 a.m., my classmates would ask me, John, do you need a lift back home? And I said, no, it's okay. My driver's also coming in. Only to sneak out at the back door entrance of the hotel and wait for my dad and his motorcycle. This was the moment of my life when I told myself that I want to get out of this mediocrity. I want to be that guy from Manila who can prove to the rest of the world that you can never be too small to dream big. And if you want something so bad in your life, you're going to get it because you think you deserve it. So that's the first thing about myself. Another thing I'd like to share about myself is this. When I was 17 years old and I was a freshman at the University of the Philippines, and you know how it feels to become a freshman in university, clean slate, no one knows you in school. You think you're the next ambitious guy who's going to be the next Steve Jobs. I was feeling the same thing on my first day. I was taking a bath. I was rubbing soap on my right breast when I realized that there was a lump growing. And so I told my mom, who's a nurse, Ma, I think we need to see a doctor. But she dismissed it. Weeks passed, months passed, and the lump was still there. I thought it was a pimple. And unfortunately, when we saw a doctor, after 6 seconds, I can clearly remember what the doctor said. And he said, Jonathan has a cyst, and we have to take it out to find out if it's benign or malignant. Unfortunately, there's a 0.0085% chance for males to get cysts on their breast. But the moment that they have it, it's an 85% chance of becoming terminally ill and be diagnosed with breast cancer. Again, this was the second aha moment of my life. And when I found out about it, I called up my friends and told them, when I get buried, please play the song Semi-Charmed Kind of Life by Third Eye Blind, because it's my favorite song of all time. And please make me wear the most beautiful suit in the world. Obviously, this story didn't happen. And I'm here gladly sharing it with you because that cyst was benign. But being that second aha moment of my life, I realized that if you really want something in your life, if you want to become the next billionaire, if you want to become the next CEO, if you want to become the next Steve Jobs or Prime Minister of your country, you cannot afford to wait for next week, next month, or next year, because you'll never know if the clock will stop ticking for you. Today, you may be laughing your hearts out, enjoying this beautiful resort, enjoying your family, but tomorrow, you'll never know if you're dead and if the clock will suddenly stop ticking for you. So I'm not here to wish that all of you would have cysts on your right breast. It's really painful, I have to say. My mom still keeps that in a vial, and when I was growing up, he would point it to me, and if I did something like go home at 4 a.m., he would tell me, you want this to happen again in your life? I'm here to wish, rather, that all of you would realize that the only enemy of the ambitious is time. In today's world, and I'm sure you guys are in that department, when technology is out there to help you out, a simple post on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitter can propel you towards success. I'd like to believe that if you don't succeed in the next 5 or 10 years, it is a matter of the consequences of choices you make in your life today. And so I want you guys, as an assignment, to look at yourself in the mirror tonight and ask yourself, am I on track of what I want to become in the next 5 or 10 years? Am I slacking off, or am I waiting for the next thing to happen when in fact it's not going to happen at all.